On February 6, 2004, history was made by the Spirit rover, and Mars would be transformed forever. Spirit had journeyed to Mars, enduring a treacherous 6-minute descent through the planet's fiery atmosphere, and triumphed over a malfunction that posed a grave threat to its mission. And so, the trials had only just begun. The 90-soul quest to detect water on Mars was a crucial endeavor. The task at hand for Spirit is to explore the planet's craters and employ its instruments to uncover the enigmas concealed within Martian rocks in order to discover the sought-after evidence. As the story goes, a spirit was discovered. Hello and welcome to KYC News. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. The series narrates the journey of Spirit as it traverses the rough terrain of Mars, documenting its struggles and discoveries along the way. In this episode, we witness Spirit's quest to locate water. The equipment belonging to Spirit was able to perceive the rocks on Mars as time capsules, which provided insight into the environmental history of the planet. The question was raised as to which capsule Spirit should open. Sashimi, a rock, lay nearby, within easy reach. However, there was a catch. Spirit's views were blocked by dusty Sashimi. The rover's grinding equipment was incompatible with the scarred rock. Another possibility was present. The rock, known as the Adirondack, was free of dust, flat, and clean, resembling the size of a football. The drive was tougher than Sashimi's, but Spirit's tools proved to be a perfect complement. The rover Spirit rotated 40 degrees in brief, successive movements, covering a distance of just under 1 meter. It then turned towards the rock and proceeded to make 4 concise and direct movements, covering a distance of just under 2 meters. Careful steps were required by Spirit to navigate the rocky terrain of the crater. The Giza crater, which is estimated to be 3 to 4 billion years old, spans a width of 166 kilometers. Through the use of imagery and mapping, it was discovered that Giza had once been a lakebed in ancient times. This lakebed was supplied by the Ma'adim Vallis, a massive Martian outflow channel that spans a length of 700 kilometers, surpassing even the size of Earth's Grand Canyon. The theory was being investigated by Spirit. The instrument that Spirit used for grinding and brushing was known as the RAT. A diamond dust and resin-coated wheel, spinning at 3,000 RPM, was used to drill 45 by 5 mm rock samples. The resulting length of the samples was 10 centimeters. The RAT is equipped with 2 brushes that serve the purpose of cleaning dust from boreholes, allowing for closer inspections. The RAT, a machine that grinds rocks on another planet, utilized only 30 watts of electricity. This is a crucial aspect, considering how cautious Spirit is with its power consumption. Once the machine had sliced the Martian rock, it provided Spirit's other tools with a level and unblemished area for precise examinations. Among these tools was the rover's microscopic imager, which was instrumental in determining the rock's composition. Prior to the grinding process, Spirit had presented microscopic photos and Mossbauer spectrometer measurements of the Adirondacks. Never before had such an examination taken place on Mars, or any other planet, for that matter. The findings disclosed that Adirondack was comprised of magnetite, olivine, and pyroxene, similar to the volcanic basalt rocks. The rock was sliced by Spirit to confirm this. On the 34th soul, Spirit employed Adirondack's rat. The Earth Spirit had traveled a great distance to smash a rock. For the first time in history, humans performed a rock abrasion on a planet other than Earth in order to determine its composition. By utilizing specialized equipment on the recently uncovered material, it was determined that the rock in question was volcanic basalt. This discovery also offered valuable insights into the nature of Mars. And now, we turn our attention to the topic of Spirit's lessons. The Adirondack rock had been a carefully selected target, as it was a prime example of the type of rock commonly found in the Giza crater. The Adirondack and subsequent Giza rocks were composed of pyroxene, plagioclase, olivine, and magnetite. The picritic basalts that were formed are akin to basaltic comalities. The Adirondack region appears to have undergone some modifications, potentially due to the effects of water on the surrounding rock formations. It is possible that small quantities of water have become mineralized. The rocks in Giza were so easy to crush that they seem simpler than rocks of the same type found on Earth, such as those in the Adirondack region. On March 5th, Humphrey Rock was visited by Spirit, who discovered evidence of water on Mars. The object in question was Humphrey, a volcanic rock with a dark exterior measuring 60 centimeters in height. Notably, Humphrey's crevices contained bright material, and its cracks were filled with water-crystallized minerals. The RAT operated by Spirit had scraped off 2 millimeters from the surface of the rock to reveal them. The presence of these compounds provided further evidence that water was present on Mars and had either interacted with or been contained within Humphrey. It was a significant stride in addressing one of the primary inquiries of the Mars exploration program: did life ever exist on Mars? The importance of this question cannot be overstated when it comes to the colonization of Mars. The search for the Spirit did not conclude at Humphrey Rock. The rover was busy. On the 65th Martian day, which is also known as Sol 65, it was March 11, 2004, when Spirit made its landing in Bonneville crater. Upon arrival, the heat shield was discharged. The Bonneville crater, located in Gizev, was of small size. The object in question boasted a diameter of 210 meters, a depth of 14 meters, and a rim measuring 6.4 meters. It is probable that Bonneville came into existence as a secondary crater resulting from the ejection of material caused by a larger impact. Not a single trace of water erosion had affected it. As Spirit made its way towards the edge of the crater, it scanned the area for any interesting rocks to investigate. However, it didn't find anything that caught its attention, so it decided to steer clear of the crater and not venture into its depths. The rover Spirit made its way towards the Columbia Hills, which had been previously observed in the last episode. The Spirit made its way towards another crater. On Sol 118, Spirit had surpassed its initial mission target and arrived at Lahontan crater, which measured 55 meters across and 9.1 meters deep. On the southwest side of Lahontan, a lengthy sand dune posed a threat to the wheels of the rover. The team guiding Spirit made a conscious decision to steer clear of the dune, as it posed a risk of tipping over the rover. Spirit's journey to the Columbia Hills remained unhindered, even in the face of Lahontan's dunes. As the terrain grew more complex, the engineers assumed control of the rover. However, for the most part, the rover traversed the dunes of Mars autonomously. The Columbia Hills, a series of hills located in Gizev crater, had been the sole destination of Spirit throughout its entire journey. At a distance of 3 kilometers from Spirit's landing site, the most prominent landmarks that the rover observed were these. The hills bear the name of the Space Shuttle Columbia, which met its demise during re-entry. As Columbia launched into space, foam from its external tank broke off and struck the shuttle's left wing, causing damage. As Columbia descended through the atmosphere, hot gases managed to breach its heat shield. This caused severe damage to the interior wing structure, ultimately leading to the destruction of the entire shuttle. Each hill bears the name of one of the 7 astronauts who lost their lives. As we turn our attention to Michael P. Anderson, we find ourselves on Anderson Hill. As we delve into the story of David Brown, we come across a place known as Brown Hill. Once upon a time, there was a woman named Kalpana Chawla who hailed from a place called Chawla Hill. Laurel Clark was the name of the person mentioned. William C. McCool was the name of the individual in question. On Ramon Hill stands a monument dedicated to Elon Ramon. The shuttle's commander was Rick Husband. On Sol 159, Spirit arrived at West Spur, situated at the base of the Columbia Hills. As the rover made its way towards the hills, warning flags came into view. As the vehicle moved forward, the narrator observed that the right front wheel, in particular, seemed to be drawing 3 times more current than the other wheels. As a result of this occurrence, the wheel became immobilized, draining Spirit's power and causing the motor to overheat. The question was asked, leaving the listener curious about the events that had taken place. The presence of debris within the wheel's system had the potential to impede its rotation. The working parts of the wheels may no longer be covered by congealed lubrication. The problem was ingeniously solved by Spirit's wheel heaters. Without knowing the reason, Spirit had to find a way to mitigate the damage. Moving forward, Spirit utilized its front wheel sparingly and instead relied heavily on the other 5 wheels. When faced with steep hills or rough terrain, Spirit had to rely on all 6 of its wheels to climb. This was because of the drag caused by the front wheels. On Sol 174, a 3,000-meter tune-up was initiated by Spirit in preparation for upcoming missions. One of the fixes made was the calibration of the front hazard camera. The predictions of Spirit's aim had deviated by 2 to 3 centimeters. The Spirit rover employed various arm poses and photographs to enhance its stereo hazard avoidance capabilities. The camera is currently being targeted. The rotation of the front wheel was rectified through a diagnostic and lubrication process. Additionally, faster navigation was made possible for Spirit through optical odometry testing. The Spirit was sound asleep, resting comfortably after its initial tune-up. Overnight, the rover's mode was altered to depower it, conserving energy for survival heaters and electronics. The Spirit rover had to conserve energy in preparation for the upcoming Mars solstice. There were risks associated with deep sleep. With the survival heater now deactivated, there was a possibility that Spirit's thermal emission spectrometer, being small in size, may not be able to power up again. Before shutting down, Spirit made 2 final observations. The solar panels of Spirit were positioned towards the winter sun to conserve energy and prevent any hindrance from the setting sun and dust. In the following days, Spirit delved into a thorough investigation of the rocks situated in the Columbia Hills. Amongst them were Clovis, Ebenezer, and Lutefisk. On Sol 188, the front wheel of Spirit was fixed. As an alternative to diagnostics and lubrication, one may consider other options. The situation had reversed. The use of Spirit resulted in enhanced performance and a prolonged lifespan of the motor. The rover's functionality persisted through the implementation of minor adjustments and logical reasoning. Following a solar conjunction, Spirit embarked on a journey to reach Husband Hill, a location that stood 107 meters taller than the Guizhov crater plains. On the south side of Guizhov lies a remarkable albedo feature that contributes to the distinct texture of Mars when observed from space. By Sol 344, the Spirit was prepared to proceed with its mission. Perhaps you have noticed. The mission that was assigned to Spirit had a duration of 90 sols, however, it is currently Sol 344. Running. Mission ready. The journey to explore Mars continues. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon.